Welcome back, Mavericks. I'm Danny Yan.
And I'm Jarrell Sims, and welcome back to Mav TV.
We have another great show for you this week.
That's right, Danny. We've gotten a lot of questions about how we make a Mav TV show, so we're going to give you a glimpse behind the scenes.
We've also noticed that the upper school computer lab is getting a lot of attention lately. Some are even calling it the new junior country.
But first, let's take a look at one of the school's recent student wellness projects, Freedom from Chemical Dependency.
Towards the end of last year, we saw Mr. Poole from the FCD elaborate on a drug and alcohol survey taken by the upper school student body. And recently, SJS upper school students took small group classes with FCD speakers to gain a better understanding of this subject.
So our first connection with FCD was back in 2014, and we had decided that we wanted to bring them in. So over the course of the past couple years, we've been in contact with them. As you probably remember, we had our student attitudes and behaviors survey done last December, and then as part of the follow-up, we had an assembly in the fall. And then, of course, we had the seminars last week. So it's not that there was some issue that came up that we felt like we needed to bring FCD in or anything like that. It is a preventative model. So by having FCD come to the school, it was the administration's hope that students would learn about drugs and alcohol, get really accurate information from outside professionals who do this across the country. Another reason we involved FCD is because we felt like students could be more open with outside professionals versus having their teachers or administrators trying to facilitate the conversation. So our hope is that students were able to be open and honest and ask really important questions about drugs and alcohol.
So, Kate, how helpful do you think the FCD drug talks were to you and other students?
I think that it's a really helpful exposure for students to just be aware of all the different things you can come up against in high school and sort of just know the risks before you get in a situation like that. I think some talks were a little bit more useful than others. We had one all about alcohol, and I feel like that's sort of a bigger thing in high school, so I thought that those were definitely very helpful.
Yeah, and do you think the FCD should come annually, biannually, or 2 times a year? What do you think?
I think that every class that goes through St. John's should at some point have an FCD talk. I don't know if they need it every year, but maybe the freshmen could have it as they come in or something like that, just to sort of get them prepared and know everything up front.
Thank you. Whether or not the FCD will return in the following years, they have definitely left a positive impact on the student body. I'm Alex Ham, reporting from Mav TV.
It's well known that the spring is extremely busy in the Fine Arts Complex.
Sienna is here to tell us about the latest Johnny Cake production opening this week.
Sienna?
What do you get when you combine the 60s, an artist, a debutante, an old maid, a military man, an antique dealer, a mistress, an electrician, and a millionaire? Something funny. What happens when you put it all in the dark? You get this year's studio play, Black Comedy. Black Comedy, written by Peter Schaefer, tells the story of Brinsley, a young, poor artist trying to sell his sculptures with the help of his blonde fiancée, Carol. The power suddenly goes out as they prepare for a party for millionaire art enthusiast George Bamberger and Carol's rigid father, Colonel Melkett. Chaos promptly ensues as they are joined by Brinsley's neighbors, Miss Furnival and Harold Gorringe, a German electrician, and Miss Brinsley's mistress, Clea. Can Brinsley hope to sell his art, impress his future father-in-law, appease his snooty neighbors, calm his fiancée, start up again with his mistress, and get the lights on all in an hour? Black Comedy is directed by Kat Cords, with stage manager Jason Suviliotis and assistant stage manager Maddie McSeal. Performances are January 26th and 27th at 7:30 p.m. and will take place in the VST Black Box Theater. Tickets are available now and may be reserved by calling 713-850-0222 extension 570. Cost is $10 and may be charged to your student account. Seating is general admission.
Thanks, Sienna. Now let's take a look at the new alternative junior country.
Hi, I'm Joe Griffin with Mav TV News, and because of the reconstruction of the cafeteria, the junior country has been lost in the past. However, a group of junior boys now have taken upon themselves to recreate the junior country in the computer lab. Hi, I'm Joe Griffin, here with Elizabeth Wad to talk about the new junior country.
What new junior country?
The computer lab.
Oh, okay.
So how does it affect you?
I think the new junior country doesn't affect girls as much because girls don't actually go in the new junior country. It's mostly for guys. But I think for the guys, it's just a nice place where they can go and hang out and just do whatever they want. You know, it's a nice space just for them.
Yeah. Do you like the new junior country?
I think that there's a lot of guys in there, and sometimes it doesn't smell the best, but other than that, I think that it's a great space for them. I don't really think that any girls would ever go in there.
How does the new junior country affect you?
Well, so I actually think it's pretty funny that you call it the new junior country, because it's really not, but I love the fact that they claimed the name. Other than, some of the boisterousness and some of the mess, I'm glad they have a place to go, and it's a good spot for them to go. My thing is, I just wish that they would take care of the lab a little better, and they've done a better job in the last few months, but it's still, that would be the one thing.
Hi, I'm Joe Griffin from Mav TV News, and I'm with the founders of Junior Country. So, when did Junior Country first start up this year, and why did you start it back up?
It started up at around the start of our junior year, and we started back up because prior years, juniors had their own place to go and hang out, and we didn't have that this year. So we needed a place to go, all hang out, talk, just relax.
How did you choose the location of where it should be?
Well, we both had two free periods at the beginning of the year, and this was mainly the only place available. The computer lab is centrally located. There's a lot of places to sit. It's pretty big. It's a good spot.
This is Joe Griffin reporting for Mav TV.
It's crunch time for Maverick Athletics. The winter season is closing in on the SBC playoffs with big counter games and meets on the horizon.
Boys basketball won their first two SBC counters, due in part to Cliff Guidry's combined 78 points against St. Stephen's and John Cooper. Guidry is shooting 44% from three-point land. The all-purpose guard has launched close to 300 threes on the season. St. John's SBC winning streak came to an end with a tough 50-49 loss to EHS last Friday.
Girls basketball also won their first two SBC games, starting with a convincing 51-17 win over St. Stephen's and a double overtime nail-biter over John Cooper. The Mavs also recently lost to EHS 45-28.
Girls soccer shut out St. Stephen's 4-0 and John Cooper 6-0 to start off undefeated in the conference.
Boys soccer defeated St. Stephen's 2-0 and tied John Cooper 2-2 to start off 1-0-1 in the SBC South.
Due to inclement weather, the EHS soccer counters have been rescheduled on January 31st.
Soccer and basketball travel to Austin St. Andrews this Friday for more SBC competition.
Maverick Swimming is coming off record-breaking performances at the Coastal Bend TISCA meet. Paul Schwartz freestyle, Eric Wang breaststroke, and Henry Philpott diving posted school records, helping the Maverick boys total 475 points for first place. Cooper, Luke, and Schwartz contributed 40 points apiece. Katie Shelbourne and Sydney Buckman set meet records to help the girls' team finish third.
Wrestling rolled the mats out on Saturday at the Prep State Duels hosted by St. John's. The Mavericks started the day with an 84-0 shutout of ESD. This is the highest possible score for team victory. St. John's swept their first round division, advancing to the finals where they defeated Liberty Christian, but fell short to Bishop Lynch in the last competition of the day. This is the second year in a row that St. John's has finished runner-up at the Prep State tournament.
The Mavericks won the war on the floor earlier this season and topped it off with the first ever win at the Bighorn Duels. St. John's travels to the state individuals on February 3rd prior to hosting SBC on February 11th.
USA Field Hockey was on campus at Finnegan Field this weekend. The U17 and U19 national teams are on a training rotation based on weather and facilities. St. John's met both criteria with mostly sunny skies, and according to the U17 head coach Jared Martin, unbelievable top-notch facilities that college programs would love to have.
And that's it for sports.
Thanks, guys. Now let's answer some of those questions about how Mav TV is made.
I'm Austin Beebe, here with Mav TV, reporting on the subject of Mav TV. Here with Mr. Lakey, the Assistant Director of Fine Arts at St. John's, here to talk about Mav TV. Mr. Lakey, what is Mav TV?
Mav TV is a conglomeration of news from all around the school that we produce in a what we call a TV segment.
How do you think Mav TV has affected the student body?
I've heard some very positive things about it, and I think it's given everybody a chance to know news from all around the school. I think it's answered some questions that students have and faculty have wondered about construction and programs that are going on and people that are doing things around school.
What goes into creating a Mav TV broadcast?
A lot goes into it. We have to first of all figure out what show we're going to do, what's going to be in that show, what's timely, what isn't timely. We also have to then go in and everybody picks packages to do their stories on, whether like they want to do something from sports, or they want to do something in construction, or they want to do something in middle school. It could be anything. And once they all put those together, then we look at them, we pick which ones are going to go into that show, and then we have a studio day where we come in here and the students run everything from the teleprompter to the cameras, the switcher, the audio, and they also are the talent, and we produce that, and then I grab it and I put it all together and we upload it to YouTube.
Interesting. Well, thank you again for your time.
All right.
I'm here live with DigiApp student Will Lee. Will, what do you like about Mav TV?
Personally, I like being able to go onto YouTube and check out Mav TV's profile to see what's been going on around St. John's. Also, I think it's really good for the parents to be able to check what's been going on around the school and give them an update of what's happening at the St. John's High School.
What do you think other people could learn from Mav TV?
I think other people could also just learn about the school. Students in general can like check on what's been happening, especially sports. I've seen a lot of sports footage and games, and just gives a basis for what's been going on.
All right, well, thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Reporting from Mav TV, I'm Austin Beebe.
Well, Mavericks, it looks like we're going to have yet another busy spring, and you can catch it all right here.
Please remember to subscribe to us on YouTube so you get our updates when our new videos are released.
We're always looking for great news stories. If you have any ideas for stories you would like to see on Mav TV, you can email us at news@sjs.org.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week for another rendition of Mav TV. Go Mavericks!